Okay, that's some interesting Steeler news. We'll get into that in 2 seconds. Let me just do something real quick, and we'll get started. You done? Ah! Are you done in here? Are you done?
Hi, Dave.
You poked me. Stick my finger up your butt.
I'm live.
Hey, save it for off
I
the
don't
air.
need a proctologist.
Oh, you're live with the whore.
Listen. Joanna right now does not need a proctologist.
You're live with the whore.
Listen, Joanna's got a lot of things. Listen, Joanna's got a lot of
How
things
many
shoved.
times I gotta tell you stop hanging out with that whore?
Joanna's got a lot of things shoved up her ass. A finger doesn't need to be one of them.
Oh, shit.
Listen, I have more fingers up my ass than a proctologist. Give him the old woo woo.
Hold on.
Love you, Eddie.
Oh no. Wait, did you see the
Yes,
beginning?
I've seen it.
The two girls?
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
Give me yours.
Why?
Love you. Because Eddie's a fucking weirdo.
Oh Jesus.
All right, darling. Let's get this show on the road. Gotta give him the old woo woo.
Hold on, man.
You good? You ready?
Not quite, but go ahead.
Oh, because we got some Steeler news. I guess you can say that, oh, Nelly. It takes up with Big Ben and Antonio Brown.
All right, go ahead.
All right, let's get this started in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Betting Window on the Nerdport Network. I am your host, Stephen Ronnie, and with me, as always,
Captain Stuntcock.
and welcome one and all. If you are new to the show, this is a sports podcast that dives into sports betting, where we dive into the good, the bad, and the what the fuck was that in the whole world of sports. On today's show, we will talk about the NFL draft recap. We will talk about the NHL playoffs, somewhat NBA playoffs, but at the same time, we'll be talking about other news in other areas. And let's start off with a doozy that just came across my fucking feed about 30 seconds ago.
All right, let's go.
And it has to deal with Steeler Nation.
Okay.
Former Steelers, to be exact, Big Ben and Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown has come out and now has said that he had hooked up with Ben's sister in 2011 during the Pro Bowl.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And away we go. Because apparently there's been heat between these two for
a minute.
For a minute, yeah. Now this happens. But here's the thing, too. Do you believe him? Because he is.
Yeah, I do believe it, actually.
Because he is
Because
batshit crazy.
Because, like, those two were cool, and then all of a sudden, you could see that tension building between them. So, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't doubt that it's true.
I mean, granted, he's batshit crazy, though.
Right?
From all the shit that he's done over through the NFL, when he was in New England, when he was with Brady in Tampa, like, he was legit, like, he had fucking nervous breakdowns on the sidelines. I mean, shit. He literally stripped out of his uniform on the field and walked off the field when he was with Tampa against the Jets.
Right.
So, now him saying this, also, think about it, 2011, this is, what, 14 years after the fact? Why bring this up now?
That's a good question.
No, I don't think we have it. We don't have an answer yet because we clearly don't know.
Right. Clearly.
Yeah. Literally.
Literally, fucking clearly.
Because, like, this literally is stuff like, here we go. This is something from 9 o'clock today, this morning. Antonio Brown reignites feud with Ben by accusing his sister of performing raunchy sexual acts on him at the Pro Bowl. So he's saying that she came on to him, is how I'm reading that.
That's how I would read that.
This is coming from Total Pro Sports. Recently dropped a bombshell about Ben. Literally, from Antonio Brown's Twitter, Ben Roethlisberger, still mad. His sister sucked my dick. 2011 Pro Bowl. Tweet was from yesterday. This time yesterday.
Okay. Sorry. Just, I don't know if I can watch this movie anymore.
What movie?
Good Burger.
Oh. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
Dan Snyder.
Dan Schneider. Right. He's got a prominent role.
Oh, no shit.
So, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm still going to watch it, but continue.
Dan Snyder.
Dan
Carly.
He said no more fucking Journey psycho.
I should have been down. Come on. We're going to the zoo.
Oh, wake up, bitch. You're my new best friend.
Can we go to the zoo?
No.
Oh, God.
Sorry, as you can tell, we're a bunch of fucking idiots if it's your first time listening in.
Yeah, well, at the same time, too, we have fun.
Same time, you chose to listen to us. Welcome to the fucking peanut gallery, jackass.
Welcome to the show that never ends.
Oh, God, don't do that. Don't do that.
Come inside. Come inside.
Oh, God
where we make a bunch of 80s and 90s references that might actually be too highbrow for some of the kids that might be listening.
Yeah, you motherfuckers need to get smarter.
Get cultured, you swines.
Culture battle.
All right, but yeah, so that's something we're gonna have to keep our eyes on.
Yes, for show.
But all right, so where do we want to begin? I don't know if Christian's coming on.
You know what? Let's I know Christian's on talk football.
Right, that's what I mean. I don't know if Christian's gonna be on, so I don't know if we want to save.
Yeah, that's about all I can say about it.
Say that again?
I said we had the draft. That's about all I can say about it.
I mean, there is other news that happened in football, but we can honestly wait. The Jets did lose a backup quarterback, but that is...
Oh, no. Pull out the tarp.
No. This is actually sad. I'll just say it now.
Tarp it off. Bring in the...
No.
Turn it into a...
Yeah. No, Jordan Travis, drafted 2 years ago, after he pretty much shattered his leg in college.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Because of a drop tackle. Pretty much, he's the reason that they formed the drop tackle rule. They banned the drop tackle, or not the reason. He got injured because of that, and that led to it.
Yes.
Is officially retiring from football today, or plans on announcing his retirement today, due to major setbacks with the injury.
Okay. Let me just say this. It sucks that he has to retire.
Yeah.
At the same time, he literally gave everything he could to football. Enjoy it, sir.
Yeah. Also, he has a degree out of FSU, so it's not like he still made 2 years of his rookie contract, and he is still gonna have a job. He's probably gonna work in the fucking office as a scout for the Jets.
Okay.
So
that's not bad.
The Jets are not like, yes, he's drafted, he's not playing football. Does not mean he's not going to be doing something in football.
Correct.
Yeah.
That just means that his field's over.
Yeah. So the injury was actually worse than people thought. It was a fractured. At the same time, figure this one out. He fractured and dislocated his left ankle at the same time.
Jesus. Calm down, overachiever.
Yeah, and it was from a hip drop tackle that caused this, which now has led to. And the kid's good. Like the minute I heard we drafted him, I'm like, that if he's healthy, he was going to be the next star in New York because he was that good.
Look, for as much shit as we give the Jets, for as much shit as I give the Jets.
Yeah, right?
They're not a terrible team.
No, it's just, listen, they've had bad luck for the last 20 years.
It's a really long time.
I'm not saying it's not, but, I mean, it is exactly what it is. I mean, the fact that It was a hip drop tackle that took him out, and that's pretty much what ended his career. It sucks.
That's what I'm watching.
But at the same time, that's football.
Right. I got a little off topic. I got a little off topic shoot here.
Okay.
Have you been seeing the leak for the PS6?
Yes, I don't really buy it.
The leak is legitimate, but have you seen the reaction to it?
No.
Console fans are pissed.
Okay, why?
Because they've said, and basically saying, and I quote, why are we working on the next gen console? We've barely started this gen. This is next gen gaming. We've barely started it.
Isn't the PS5 been out for almost a decade?
PS5 has not been out for almost 10 years now.
Hold on. When did the PS5 come out?
PS5's like 2-3 years old, dude.
It's 5 years.
Yeah, that's still, it's not, we're barely into next gen consoles.
I guarantee you the PS6 won't get touched until another 5 years.
What they need to do is work on, like back in the day, where they work on a console and then there'd be upgradable components for your console.
Yeah, the Pro and
If it's going to be true next gen, then that's what we need. Sorry, little offshoot.
it's all good.
Not a ton of sports news.
There's a lot of stuff that actually came out today.
There's some. There's not enough to keep 2 hours.
Well, this is something I want us to talk about. This is something that really pisses me off, and I want this dude tied.
Does it grind you?
What?
Does it grind your gears?
I want this guy tied behind a fucking pickup truck and dragged across a cornfield.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, so Boston Red Sox. Jared Duran has become popular in the news the last couple days because, or not couple days, but he the beginning of the year, because he had a interview where he came out and talked about how in 2022 he tried to commit suicide. And like the fact that he was able to come forward with his story, everyone was cool. Like everyone was like, "Oh, that's brave." Yep, you know the drill.
Right.
Fast forward to 2 days ago.
Okay.
They're in Cleveland. They're playing the Guardians.
Okay.
A fan started yelling at Duran about how he allegedly, I don't have the exact quote, how he should have killed himself when he had the chance.
Oh, wow.
Actually, no, here we go. The Nessa broadcast wrote on X that the spectator told Duran he should have killed himself when he had the chance. That is the exact quote from them.
Yeah.
And which caused Duran to charge the fan.
Oh, yeah.
Which...
Yeah.
He's lucky that security and everything else, like that they were around.
True.
Because I would have just said, I go, dude, you're lucky that they protected your ass. Because listen, me and you have sat here and said, you bought a ticket, you can heckle. But we both also agree that there are some lines you don't fucking cross.
Right.
And this is one of them. Like, and with mental health and stuff like that, and you wonder why more guys don't talk about this. Because just because you place a bet on a team and you're getting there and they're beating you and yada yada yada, you go and make this comment to a guy who is dealing with some shit. Clearly, I mean, granted, it's been 3 years, but he's still dealing with some shit. That shit doesn't go away.
Right.
And you're telling me that now everyone's like, oh, they should ban him for life. I go, yeah, he should never be allowed into another fucking stadium again.
Right.
Like, that is utter disgusting. There's a difference between fun heckling and that.
Yes, I'll agree. I will agree.
Like, what has to happen for this shit to... You're never going to have it stop. But when is enough going to be enough to where the beer goggles go on and a player just says, fuck it?
I mean, we're getting to that point now, man.
Maybe it needs to happen. Maybe a camera crew needs to catch a player allegedly beating the ever-living shit out of a spectator. Might bring some of these
hecklers into line.
That's what I mean. Maybe okay, great example. We're both around wrestling. You're in it. I'm a plant. We're both around the fucking shit. We've been around it for years.
Yes.
You can heckle. There's no issue with that. Minute you cross that guardrail, you're fucked. And the minute a wrestler gets... What?
Sometimes fans get pissy and wait for you in the parking lot.
Yeah, guess what? Oh, it's still real to me, damn it. Well, guess what? Maybe you have to beat... Maybe someone has to get the shit knocked out of them to finally get in line that, hey, maybe I shouldn't fucking be doing this shit at games.
Mm-hmm.
And this was also, and here's another part of the story that is not necessary, but it might shed some light too. This was at the 7th inning.
Okay.
Now, reason I bring that up, when do they stop selling beer?
7th inning.
I wonder how liquored up this dude was.
Oh, dude, probably sauce to the gills.
So you're telling me he's liquored up, he's pissed off that his team is losing. He sees Duran, who, let's face it, he's a quote unquote target, and says the shit out loud.
Yeah.
I'll say it again. Maybe we need to okay. They're never going to stop beer sales at games. Maybe we need to cut the beer sales early.
Not going to happen.
Like I was
7th
saying,
innings is for cut them because that's where they make a large majority of their money.
Oh, I understand that, but maybe it has to. Maybe with shit like this. Or, like I said, it's going to turn into a Malice at the Palace type moment where a player jumps the fucking fence and beats the shit out of a fan.
Yeah, but again, man, like you said, maybe that's what needs to happen.
I don't want to see it happen. But at the same time, too, you kind of like the fucking taunts get a little.
Yes, absolutely.
The taunts are getting a little dicey.
Yes. Yeah, you have the right to buy your ticket and cheer and boo as you see fit.
And there's the thing: cheer and boo.
Fuck up. Right.
Like, have you ever seen the heckler that says compliments?
No.
There's a dude that is I think he's in Baltimore, and he goes like, "Hey Jay, I heard you oh, what was it? It's like, hey Jay, I heard that you clean the dishes, you bum."
Yeah, it's the you bum guy.
Yeah.
He was just in St. Louis the other day.
That's the type of heckling that's funny.
Yeah, he was just heckling Lars Nootbaar.
Yeah. But, like, so I think the other thing that gets me with that is, cool, you're heckling that way. That's fine. What is the one thing that you always see at games? Or what is the one type of person you always see at games?
Bat Dad?
Well, that, but also, but I'm saying, you see kids.
Yes.
Like, when you see this shit, this heckling, like, don't get me wrong, I grew up in stands. In the fucking stands. I grew up at Jet games. I grew up around Philly fans. I grew up and just closed in on this shit.
Right.
So I understand, but also seeing this, guess what? The first thing that was ever told to me when I was younger, this stays here. You never act like this outside. The problem is this is shit that's going on outside in the parking lot too.
Right.
Like, people are getting almost way too comfortable in how this is going on.
Way too comfortable.
And something needs to be done. And if it comes down to it, you're going to start getting things that you're not going to like. Or people are not going to see, I don't know what it could be, but, like, you're going to either get... First off, I think if they're going to do the beer sale stuff, they should kind of knock the beer down during day games. Like, oh, I'm sorry, if you're bringing a kid to a matinee game...
Never going to happen.
Oh, no, it's never going to happen because they're not going to want to lose the money. The stadium is never going to want to lose the money.
The alcohol they're selling is about 80% of their sponsorship dollars.
Oh, I understand that. I'm saying, I know it's never going to happen. But what I'm saying is, though, is, okay, it's never going to happen. Then they need to find a way to protect... They need to find a way not to protect the fans, protect the players. Like, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'm off base. I don't know, like... Like, what's your thoughts?
My thoughts are you shouldn't say fucked up shit like that. But at the same time, these guys are getting paid millions of dollars to play a game we all played as kids for free. Toughen up, Buttercup.
Yeah, I mean... it's weird because there is like you said, there is the toughen up part of it, but I think that crosses a line. That's like wrestler. That's like going into a wrestling show and saying some fucked up shit like that. Like,
I get it, and I'm not saying that it's not fucked up, but I'm saying if you're making, 23, 24, $25 million a year, you really shouldn't worry what other people are saying. You should be too busy counting your money. Toughen up, Buttercup.
well, they're banning this guy for life, which they should.
Yes, absolutely.
And at the same time, too, I'm surprised. Like, because this is probably not something that was going on that's new. Like, this was probably not something that was going on in the seventh inning, just the seventh inning. This was probably stuff that was going on in the first, second inning. Like, he was probably heckling all game.
Mm-hmm.
So why? And I know the answer is because no one wants to fucking deal with that shit because they didn't want to be the person. But also too, why did no one tell him to shut the fuck up?
I'm sure plenty of people did.
Then why was also? I mean, granted, why was security not called? But that's a different issue.
Because loud and drunken behavior is part of baseball games.
Yes and no. I mean, like I said, it's. I think there's I want to know one thing: how liquored up was this guy? That's the big thing. How liquored up was this dude?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, there's only one sport that I personally think should do away with alcohol, period, and because it just got added a couple years ago, and that's college football. Or college sports, period. They should never allow alcohol at college sports. But that's just me. That's my opinion.
Right.
Oh, so other baseball news. Oh, this motherfucker got hurt again. If you're an Angels fan, I'm sorry. First off, just why? Second of all, get out of Los Angeles. And third off, again, why are you an Angel fan? Mike Trout left the game today with a sore left knee.
Okay.
Play here in the.
What is it? It was when he was running. It looks like it was when he was running down the first. He hyperextended it. So hopefully it's just day to day. But again, it's another injury for a guy that seemed once he signed a 14-year contract could never stay healthy.
Right.
I think that's freaking dude. The dude signed a 12-year, $426 million contract extension. He's gonna be a free agent in 2031 when he's 39.
Okay.
Just what he's been out 3 years, 3 seasons, and then you get the shit today. He's gonna be. I don't know. And what the kicker is he has a no trade clause. So if the fucking Angels can't trade him. But when does it get to a point where injuries are just too much? Not saying he's going to retire. I'm just saying maybe he should just get out of LA. Maybe a change of scenery is good for him. What do you think?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we have a hockey game we can pick tonight.
All right,
I already know who you're gonna pick because it's just easy. So right now, scores wise, start of the third period, Washington's up 3-0. They're looking to close it out today. Tampa and Florida are tied 3-3. Florida is looking to close it out. And the game tonight at 9:30, tied 2 games apiece. The St. Louis Blues versus the Winnipeg Jets.
Give me the Blues.
Yeah, I knew you were going Blues. It's in Winnipeg. I think, honestly, I hate saying it this way. I think St. Louis needs to win this game.
Okay.
Because then they got 2 cracks at it. I think if they have to come back in St. Louis to get to not. I wish if they were in St. Louis to close out the series, they have a bet. I think they have a better chance. But then they would, if they lose, at least they have a game 7 to fall back on.
Okay.
I think if they don't, I have a weird feeling you're getting some. They're not. They're gonna. I think they're gonna lose in Game 6. I think it would be Winnipeg in 6. But I think this is not a must win because, like I said, it's not a final. But I think they need to win. They need to win on the away game, and then they have 2 cracks at
Right.
beating the number 1 seed. Devils are officially eliminated. I think that's the only actual. Yep, that is the only game that has gone. That is the only one that has gone final right now. Hurricanes beat the Devils 4-1. The Florida Panthers are up 4-3 now after a goal. Oh, not fuck! That was disgusting. Okay, I'm not touching that one yet. Sorry. More news just came out of the Mariano Rivera case.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, his wife got added as a defendant in a sexual abuse suit. All right. I'm going to read this. This is by Alexander Oliveira. This came out today, about 2 hours ago. Take this with a grain of salt because we know really nothing yet. Mariano Rivera and his wife Clara have been added to names of defendants in a civil lawsuit by a girl and her mother that said in 2018 a girl was sexually abused by an older child at an event connected to Mariano Rivera's church in New York.
Oh shit.
We had this story when it first broke, but there was nothing. There was no evidence. Like, we didn't know what was going on yet. We still don't know what's going on yet because nothing else has really been put out there. That's the first time. This is the first time that we know that it wasn't under Mo or his wife, that it was an older child that's connected to this. But it's under his supervision.
Right.
So, that's the first time I've been hearing about this.
Yeah, I haven't heard about this either.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I've heard about it, but I didn't hear about that. I heard the way they phrased it was that it was Mo and his wife being accused of this. Now, the clarity that it is not them, it is that it was part of their church.
Right.
So, that's a good thing. It's a bad thing, but it's a good thing, if that makes sense.
Right. Oh shit.
Right. But again, I don't want to dive too much into this until we get more. I want more information on that. What other, let me see, I'm trying to see anything new when it comes to, because I mean, the draft is one thing. Because the draft is just, the only thing big about the draft was Shedeur Sanders.
Right.
And he'd be on by now. I don't think he's joined us. We could talk about this now. So Shedeur Sanders got drafted in the 5th round by the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't sound like that should be that big of a deal. He got drafted, cool. It's a big deal, A, because it is, it's a Sander. It's Theon's son. But I think the bigger deal is the fact that the NFL had him ranked as a top 5 prospect in the NFL. So to go from top 5 to top 3, down to 5th round, what does that sound like to you?
Sounds like they were favoring his kid.
How so?
Now they've got him scouted as top 5, and where'd he go?
5th round.
Right.
Yeah, he went 290. It was like pick like 280. He should.
Okay, well.
He should have. No, but what I'm saying is he should have went top 5. Like, in all honesty, let me actually give you the exact pick. He was pick 144.
Okay. Well, that means that these teams had a game plan going in that didn't include him.
That with places like Cleveland that has no quarterback.
Doesn't matter. These places still have, they're not just arbitrarily picking players.
Well, no, but here's the thing. when it comes
They-
to
They went in with a game plan. The NFL's like, well, this guy's we're projecting this guy to go in the 5th round. Guess what?
no
Nobody
one
needed him.
projected. No one was projecting him in the 5th round. The fact that he dropped from the top 5 to the 5th round is crazy. No one.
Yeah, he went 5th round. Again, the teams that went into the draft had a game plan in mind, and he wasn't a pivotal part of it. That's why.
Well, I can tell you right now, I'm looking at the teams. The Browns, they're starting Joe Flacco at quarterback. 40-year-old Joe Flacco. The fucking Saints have no quarterback. The Pittsburgh Steelers have no quarterback.
Well, because these teams have no quarterback, they should rip each other's throat out for a Sanders? You realize how asinine that sounds.
Okay,
You get a game,
but yet,
go into the conflict, and
But-
you come out successful.
okay, but here's the thing. You don't come out successful if you don't have a start, if you don't have a quarterback that is there. The New York Giants went back into the 1st round to get their star quarterback.
Right, and that was their game plan for the draft.
Right. But what's Pittsburgh's? To fucking sign 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers? Pittsburgh hasn't had a
You're
good...
just personally offended. I think you're just personally offended that he didn't go in the top 5.
No, it's because of the fact of how it happened. Listen, when he was in Colorado, I couldn't stand how he acted. But that doesn't mean he wasn't talented. He's not a 5th round talent. May not be a 1st round talent. He is not a 5th round talent. I hope that this bites everybody in the NFL in the ass. Because this was a message sent to him. They're saying, oh, well, we didn't like how he did his interviews. Bullshit. You've never worried about fucking interviews in the past. You did it you fucking pulled it because it's Deion's kid. No one's gonna say it, I will. They did this because it's Deion's son. And Deion fucking came out and said some shit that he knows how to do it. Sanders is not a good player. Bullshit. He actually knows how to run an NFL. He's NFL ready. Cam Ward, the number 1 pick in the draft, is going, and I will say it now, and we can have this on tape. Cam Ward, the number 1 pick in the draft out of Miami, is going to be a bust. He is not ready for the NFL. And that's just how his demeanor is coming out of Miami. He was not the star quarterback in Miami, and he wasn't good. He was not good. Like, the best pick was fucking the Giants with Abdul Carter. Jackson Dart is a better quarterback than Cam Ward. Now, I'll say this. The quarterback class this year was not the strongest. The top 3 quarterbacks, I shit you not, were Cam Ward, Sanders, and Jackson Dart. That's the problem with this. Like, Cam Ward is not that good of a quarterback. Again, we can see what happens when it comes in. I might be eating my words on that. Whatever. Jackson Dart, SEC quarterback. Again, the jury's out on that, but he's not a terrible one. Sanders was projected as the number 2 quarterback and goes in the 5th round. Something doesn't add up there. overall ranked by ESPN as the 35 overall best player in the draft and goes 144. I'm sorry, something just doesn't add up to that.
It happens.
This is the first time in NFL draft history that someone dropped that far. It's
Okay,
never,
but
they maybe they'll drop it in the first round and go in the second round. That's fine, but no one's ever dropped this far. And I mean, like, you look at like Aaron Rodgers.
I don't understand how you can't grasp the concept that maybe ESPN was wrong. They can fuck up.
But again, I've also watched this. When I looked at this,
Oh, look, you watched them, but you don't work for these teams.
but talent-wise, it's there.
You see it. Multi-million-dollar football franchises obviously didn't.
Well, also, too, there was shit that went on before that seems like some sabotage shit. Like, there was an unknown defensive coordinator, and I use unknown, air quotes, we don't know who it was because they stayed anonymous, said that he was always late, he was rude, like, there felt like there was a lot of sabotage. I hope he gets his chance in the NFL, which he's with the Browns. It's pretty likely. And I hope...
And what if he shits the bed with it?
Okay, then he shits the bed.
Then it would make sense why he didn't go in the top 5.
Okay, but then he turns in... Okay, then flip side. What if he's a Hall of Famer? Or what if... Not even a Hall of Famer. Hold on. What if he's a 500 quarterback?
Then he gets to go down as being...
Then if he comes out and flips the whole NFL off, then no one should bitch, right?
And he's a 500 quarterback that got drafted in the 5th round.
Okay, but Eli Manning was a 500 quarterback that got drafted first overall.
Okay, he's not a Manning.
No, he's a Sander.
He's not a Manning.
Well, Deion's also one of the best. Deion was one of the best fucking corners. Safeties in the NFL.
So, like, it's not surprising. I don't understand why people... He dropped so far. Well, okay, how does that affect your life?
No, but also, we're talking about this as a sports pod. Like...
Again, at the same time, even betting odds. How... Unless you found a bookie to take money on him going in the top 5, how does it affect your life?
I mean, I didn't bet that, but I know people that did.
Congratulations, you guys took a sucker's bet.
Yeah, I didn't touch. Betting wise, I never touched. I did not touch the draft at all when it came to that, because I didn't know this draft was so fucking wide open. It wasn't even funny.
That's the thing about draft day. Anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. When you're talking about dropping, you're talking about 20 points.
Again, anything could happen. For all you know, man, dude, these fucking teams that passed up on him for so long went back and were studying tape for the last 20 hours before the draft, and they saw some shit that they didn't like. We're making assumptions that, like, he was sabotaged, he was this, he was that. Maybe they just saw something they didn't like in the footage. Maybe their scout went down and had something to report back that was like, not sure this kid's going to be a good fit for our scheme. There are hundreds of variables into why he dropped so far.
Meanwhile, you have teams going into the season with nothing. To look like they're sabotaging their seasons, possibly tanking their seasons to go get Arch.
Every year we got teams that are doing it. You always got those teams that are going for the worst record so they can get a better fucking draft pick.
I mean, what was it? We got this year, was it Vegas? They did draft a quarterback. They got Shuck, but they're also going to be better this year. I'll say that. Pittsburgh, I don't know what the fuck your Steelers are doing.
If it makes any difference, I'm pretty sure they don't either.
Well, it looks like they want what's his name. They want to get Rodgers.
You actually get some players in Pittsburgh. We've always got a pretty stout offensive line.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you got Caleb Johnson as your running back, which another running back in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but there's a line there that can protect him, and
right. No. I'm not saying.
No offense to the Jets, but sometimes that offensive line folds like a cheap informant.
The Jets have been building that line for the last 3 years.
I know they have. It's getting better. It wasn't good enough to keep Aaron Rodgers safe, but
well, when you have a fucking the first year when you had a shitty fucking left tackle and you had a lookout tackle. What's a lookout tackle? Oh, defender's coming! Look out!
Right. But that would be the only difference in him playing in New York. And
that was a freak. In all honesty, that Achilles injury wasn't just a sack. That was also a freak accident.
It was. It was a freak accident. It really was a freak accident.
So I can't even blame the line for that. That was a freak accident. And I'll say this, and this is against my team as well as the Giants. Your turf sucks. Go back to playing on fucking concrete. At least then we won't have to worry about goddamn injuries.
Fuck it. This year's Pro Bowl is being played on a frozen lake.
Bro, I'm not even kidding. Go back and look at the old Meadowlands. They were playing on fucking carpet over fucking concrete.
It was concrete painted green.
You think I'm kidding?
I know you're not, dude. That shit was like, it was like the indoor-outdoor fucking turf carpets on top of concrete.
Yeah, it's like it was like the fucking oh god, it was like the fucking concrete that was in like the Astrodome.
Yeah, it's literally concrete painted green to look like grass.
Oh god, my shoulders are hurting just thinking about that fucking shit.
I would rather get tackled on concrete.
Yeah, especially at least you had fucking...
At least the concrete broke your fall.
Oh god, I wish I was kidding about how...
I thought you were going to say, I wish I was gay, and I was about to say, this conversation just got real dark, buddy.
I'm not a Chiefs fan, damn it.
Fuck the Chiefs. I'm from Missouri, and I give my sister shit all the time because she lives in Kansas City.
Yeah.
So she's a fan. And I'm just like, are you guys happy that your team's going to be leaving for Kansas City, Kansas, because they don't deserve shit? Especially a brand new stadium paid for by the taxpayers.
Exactly.
And the Royals don't fucking deserve one either.
Oh, God.
All right, here's my question. Do you think they're going to follow through with that, or do you think they're going to bow down?
Oh, they'll bow down.
Because you know the Royals ain't winning a fucking World Series this year.
By the way, I don't understand why they would do that.
I think the only way that they would have got it for real is if they had three-peated.
Maybe.
If they'd have got the three-peat, the city would have greenlit it. because it's going to bring more revenue into the city.
But like, what I don't understand is for the Royals, why? It makes absolutely zero sense to fuck with that field, because that field is fairly new. The last I checked. Like, the last I checked, wasn't that like a fairly new stadium?
Yep.
By the way, I just sent you what it would look, what the, how bad the fucking concrete turf looked. And I just put it in the fucking show. I'd rather get tackled on that.
I haven't gotten anything.
It's on Skype. Oh, like it's seriously like it's legitly concrete.
Yeah.
Oh shit! All right, but no, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens, to see if he gets his chance to start, because he's going. There's that quarterback group is very interesting for the Browns. You have Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel from the Oregon Ducks, and Shedeur Sanders in that quarterback room. That is going to be an interesting quarterback room. So, one more thing with the draft, and this is interesting because of more of what happened to this, not the fact that they drafted this player. The Ravens drafted Tyler Loop in the 6th round of this year's draft.
Okay.
Now, why this is interesting is because I'm interested to see where this goes. Tyler Loop is a kicker. They drafted a kicker in the 6th round. Not anything new. This is the first time the Ravens have ever drafted a kicker. But why this is interesting is because they still have Justin Tucker under contract. But if Justin Tucker right now is under investigation for sexual misconduct by 16 massage therapists.
Wow.
Now the question's not about Loop. The question is do we see Justin Tucker play this year?
Probably not.
Like, that's very interesting, the fact that
13 allegations against him?
16.
16 allegations against him.
Yeah.
And they drafted a kicker.
Yep.
You answered your own question.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting, the fact that they went out and did that. But they still owe Tucker. They gave Tucker... I think Tucker still has a 3... Actually, let me look this up. Because their contracts are different. So he has a $24 million salary. They would have to, after this year, they would have to buy him out if they cut him. Potential buyout for this year, 3 years, they would have to buy him out at, get ready for this, $17 million.
I guarantee you he doesn't get a dime because he will have violated the NFL Code of Ethics.
That's interesting, but I don't know about that. Obviously, we don't know his contract. So, be interesting to see what happens there. Because he's still quote unquote owed about $7 million a year. Now, how that adjusts with this going on, the question is well, what is it? So the signing bonus, he's owed no matter what, even without, he would still get the signing bonus. So that's the one thing he's going to get. Because that can't be taken away. That's paid out year to year up front. So he's going to get $2.2 million no matter what. That's what they owe him. That was his signing bonus. That was his signing bonus. That's guaranteed. Or no, wait, hold on. Here we go. Includes a 4-year, $24 million contract with the Baltimore Ravens. Included $5.5 million signing bonus, which he gets paid up front, and then $17.5 million guaranteed. So I don't know how the contracts like that work for guaranteed money. Like, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he might still be in line for that $17 million. But the rest of that he wouldn't get a dime of because it wouldn't be like you said, for the code of conduct. That's why, like, the Deshaun Watson thing is very interesting because he was still guaranteed all that money because it was, what's it called? It was all guaranteed. So, something to keep an eye on, right?
Yep.
We got a Jake Paul fight coming soon. Oh, why? Fuck him.
Cool. Jake Paul fighting another retired fighter.
So, Ryan Garcia. Matter of time before he steps in the ring with Jake Paul. Garcia called him out in an interview. Says the problem child has no choice but to face him once he runs out of old men to fight. He runs out of opponents. The 26-year-old Garcia said there's only so many 40-year-old dudes in the world that have a name. By the way, this was 9 hours ago. Garcia is 24-1. Fight Ronaldo Romero on Friday following a 1-year suspension for performance-enhancing drugs. Yeah, should be interesting. Be interesting to see what happens there. But, yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. When are you going to get, how many 40-year-old men does he have to fight?
Right.
All right. That's really it for news. We do have one thing to talk about, one last thing to talk about. That's happening Friday and Saturday. The biggest race in horse racing, the fastest 2 minutes in the world.
Yep.
The Kentucky Oaks for the fillies and mares, and the Kentucky Derby, the race for the roses. Oh boy. So, all right. Let's go to Friday. And have you seen at all any of the... You know what? Hold on. I'm going to send you... the link right now for the Oaks and the Derby. So you can have it in front of you. Because have you looked at any of the horses for the Oaks?
No, I've been busy, man.
Okay. No, that's fine. I'll just run through right now. Good Cheer. Brad Cox horse is your morning line favorite at 6-5. The 11 horse. Brad Cox as the trainer. Who's the jockey on this is Luis Saez. Probably one of the best jockeys down at Churchill Downs. You have a lot of 30 to 1s. They're obviously right now the odds are going to change. The odds on favorite is, like I said, Good Cheer at 6 to 1. The question is do I want to fade the favorite? Now, usually when it comes to the Oaks, when it comes to the fillies, you kind of want to sit towards the favorite. And it's a Luis Saez horse. I'm kind of doing that. I think I'm going to take Good Cheer to win the Oaks. I think I'm going to go 11. I think I'm going to go, what is it? I'm going to go 11, 7, and 2. So I'm going to go Simply Joking. There's the 2. La Clara is the 6, and 11 is Good Cheer and Brad Cox. That is my Kentucky Oaks pick. Brian, do you have it? Did you look at what's in front of you? Do you have anything?
I do not.
Okay. So, race goes off Friday. Definitely going to have money in that as a trifecta. Now, the Derby. So, there's a lot of interesting people talking about this. The favorite right now is Journalism at 3 to 1, the 8 horse. The second one is Sovereignty at 18, Sandman at 6 to 1 at 17, Grande at 10 to 1 is the 10 horse, ironically. Long Shot, Citizen Bull is 20 to 1, Final Gambit 30 to 1. Publisher is 20 to 1. So, That's the horse that I really like. Publisher is a very interesting horse. I am actually going to fade the favorite in this. I don't trust journalism in this because journalism only raced in small crowds. Was the Santa Anita Derby. The Santa Anita Derby only has 5 racers. Only races 5 people. 5 horses.
Okay.
Other, like, Final Gambit, Journalism, who's won the floor, not Gambit, sorry. I just said, Publisher, who was part of the Florida Derby, Solverty, who I think won the Florida Derby, or at least the Kentucky Oaks, or not Kentucky Oaks, the Wood Memorial. The Solverty and Publisher are the 2 that I like back to back. I think I'm still going to have journalism in this field, but I'm going to have him 4th. I honest to God like Solverty. Where are you? Solverty, Publisher, Sandman. Sorry, not Sandman. Grande Journalism. So it would be the 18, the 13, the 10, and the 8. That's going to be my superfecta that I'm going to lay out. Because, in all honesty, I personally think you're going to see, and especially we don't know what the weather's going to be. If it's a mud, if it rains on Saturday, well, journalism doesn't really run in the mud. I've never seen journalism be a mudder. But I've seen the other ones. Changes a lot of things. It's going to be very interesting to see. It's one of the, if not, it's always going to be it's the greatest 2 minutes in racing history. Ryan, any thoughts with the Derby, the Derby?
No, I didn't have time to do any research coming up on it.
Okay. Gonna say we're about to hit the 10-year anniversary of probably the second greatest Triple Crown winner, in my opinion, in American Pharoah. We're just on the 10-year anniversary of that. If anyone in horse racing hears that, they might be like, second? Who's first? Secretariat, motherfuckers. Get it right. I got to see American Pharoah. That was a fun... That was a fun moment. That was a freaking 62,000 people in the stands. You want to talk about freaking crazy. 62 people watching a Triple Crown horse race. But, I mean, we have the race on Saturday. I mean, I don't have... Unfortunately, I don't think they put out the full card yet. And that's going to be interesting because there's going to be money to be made in the other in the other in Churchill Downs, the races that happen on the back end. Right.
What?
I'm saying, like, the other ones, like, the like, I'm interested to see what the other races that we're getting, because that's
They're not going to Friday. It's not going to be on such a offer.
No, the card actually drops tomorrow. Because they already have the scratches out for Friday. They'll have the information on, like, they'll have the race times up, but they won't have, like, the full races. They won't have the horses in there yet. So it looks like the Derby will be going off at 6:57. First race at 11, goes all the way to 8 o'clock at night. Fucking love it. Oh, they actually have, that's actually a thing now. So, Churchill Downs, I wanted to know your opinion on this one, right? So, Churchill Downs has kind of made it a weekly thing. Full week. So, they have racing tomorrow. They open racing tomorrow. They've officially called it Thurby. They got a sponsor for it. They're calling it Thurby.
Okay.
Good idea, bad idea? Like, the Thursday Derby, that's obviously what it's meaning, but, like, they're doing 12 races. First race is at 12:45. Like, I think that's kind of a cool idea. It's something you don't see places do.
I mean, it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's different. I don't know. Are you ready for the Derby?
I am.
Should be fun. Should be fun seeing what we got. Should be interesting to see what we have going on. But is there any other things that you would like to talk about?
I got nothing.
Okay, then let's bring this home. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you heard, please follow us on all social media accounts under the Nerdport Network. Follow us individually on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, at F and Ronnie.
At Stuntcock STL.
Join us back here next week as we dive back into the good, the bad, and what the fuck was that? The world of sports and sports betting every Wednesday at 8:30. Join us. Keep your eye on Twitter for any new shows and as well as live streams where I will be streaming Doom and Brian has the control over the jukebox.
Yeah, y'all are fucked.
What did I do?
You'll learn.
Just all of a sudden Screwdriver plays. What the fuck? But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you heard, please tell your friends. If you didn't,
Go fuck yourself.
tell your enemies, but until then, always remind them 3 things. 1, Bobby Bonilla getting paid. 2, the Sith won the war. And 3, there is always a teachable moment. And fuck it, if you don't believe us, then that's just a fact of life. Yeah.